All
Hmm.
right. Well, thank
Yeah.
everybody for coming. Hi, Vikram. How are you doing? Welcome. Uh,
Yes,
the
Noel.
market
It's
is getting very
gorgeous.
interesting out there.
What are you noticing? Are you noticing that it's picking up
Yep.
quite significantly? Do you feel like there's a lot of panicking with tariffs and all that stuff? Like people like encouraging them to move quicker because of the uncertainty of what's going to unfold?
I think I'll tell you what I have noticed myself, and maybe I'm in Ontario. If anybody else is experiencing anything different, by all means, please speak up. But in the last probably 4 or 5 days, my phone has started ringing like it hasn't rang before for quite a while.
Yeah.
A lot of sellers for sure, wanting to get the houses up. And I don't think that's because they're losing their house. That hasn't been said to me, but I do think it's because everybody's aware that a surge is going to start, that there's going to be
Hmm.
people buying because the interest rates now are low and they want to get in before anything happens, if anything happens to the market. I just
Yeah.
before I came on here at quarter after 12, my phone rings. It's not a number I know. It's somebody that got my name from a client that I just closed their property, and she's like, I get like, you've got to be the one to get rid of this house. She's been listed already for 9 months and
Oh,
hasn't gone
well.
anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
It's
that's kind of what I'm noticing, but I am noticing a lot of communication with leads. I'm doing
hmm
a lot of things differently since the last time we were on.
okay.
Ooh,
Ooh.
do tell. Yeah, I
It's
am. I'm switching it up because I think welcome everybody as you come in. I can see you
yes.
popping in.
Yeah.
I'm definitely always going to be the email girl, the drip campaign, because I can't stress enough, Crystal, when you are out rocking and rolling in the field, you
hmm
need to know that you've got that backup, that your
Yeah.
leads are hearing from you no matter what. An email drip,
hmm
whether or not you decide to make calls or you don't, it is essential. You can't go
hmm
without it.
Yeah.
But I do believe that we are in uncertain times, and I think that the people need something a little extra. So I've been doing
hmm
things a little bit more outside my box, trying different things. And I'm getting
Yeah.
responses. I'm getting a
Good.
ton. I just did a mass
Yep.
email to everybody.
hmm
So my leads are all kind of divided up. So I've been getting leads from Agent Locator since 2016. So some of them have been archived, some of them have been closed. So my
hmm
full number of leads would be well over 8,000 for sure
hmm
from beginning
hmm
to end.
Yeah.
But they don't always stay in your dashboard when they're that old.
hmm
So right now, without archived, which is very few, there's for me personally, there's about 2,100. Then my team also has some of my older ones and so forth.
hmm hmm
So I did an email that basically just said, I'm checking in. It was a mass email that I did to everybody. One of my additional touches and the email, as you know, is very short and sweet. I simply just said, I just wanted to take a minute just to touch base with you because I'm hearing from a lot of my buyers and sellers that there's a lot of uncertainties in regards to our market changing because of the tariffs.
hmm
Do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? And then I simply said, I am always here to answer your questions. And if I can't, I will always point you in the right direction to help you. Meaning, if it's a mortgage thing, I can't answer that
Okay.
for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just said, please feel free to text me or reply to this email. I just want you to know I'm always here.
hmm
Well, my email exploded,
Wow.
exploded.
hmm
I stopped counting after 150 responses.
Wow.
And this is where, guys, as I say to you, we have this ability to touch people if we just get a little creative.
hmm
It took me not even 5 minutes to put this email together, and it's like
hmm
30 seconds to send it out,
Yeah.
right?
hmm hmm
It was so simple, but people responded, and people responded in a lot of different ways. Thanks, Tara. I'll get back to you if I do have questions. Other people responded, and some of them were, I'm not ready yet. Some of them also were, I'm waiting now for another 2 or 3 years. My situation's changed. Overall, I sent it out to 2,100 leads. I had 10 unsubscribe, but I stopped counting at 150 responses. So it was amazing to me, again, as I'm looking at this going, oh my God, this was one email, and this was such a win for me.
Yeah.
100 times over, because all we need is for the communication to begin. I just need them to respond.
Yeah, that's it.
Had I have made 2,100 phone calls, would I have had 150 conversations? Stop counting at 150?
Yeah.
No way.
No.
I can guarantee it. So little tricks I've been doing.
Little tricks. That's
extra.
Good. And I think as well, how you mentioned you composed that email wasn't what we often see from individuals with, it's felt like we need these extravagant newsletters to broadcast information. It was kind of like it most likely, I'm just guessing based on what you said, appeared to be a handwritten email directed towards that person specifically, right? So that alone helps the response rate, because they feel as though you are directly communicating. You took the time to send them this email versus just, putting something together that they know was, essentially sent to a massive database.
Right. And I did use as well the short code. So it was, hey Bob or hey Sue, whatever.
Yeah.
And I try to leave those ones, those little quick checking in ones. I always try to leave them short and sweet, and there's no survey. It's just basically it's remembering that we're here to offer a service. If we come from a place of servitude to these people, then these people are going to be non-threatened by us, because it isn't a pressure salesman approach. But I tell you, it's things like that, everybody, when I say that mindset is such a big part of your conversion with leads, I cannot stress enough that I was on cloud 9. Because we do.
It's endorphins afterwards. You're like,
I've got this great email drip. Sometimes I get replies every day. Sometimes I can go days and nobody's responding, and you kind of do self-doubt yourself. Even I self-doubt myself.
Yeah.
But then when I'm like, well, wait a minute, I'm the one that these people could be asking questions to. So let me just figure out another way to kind of say, guys, I get it. This is kind of weird what we're going through.
Yeah.
But if you got something, ask me, and I'll at least point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And for that, I think what people do, and guys, answer me if I'm wrong, tell me. I think we overthink these things.
I can promise you. I know I do with certain things, right? We overthink things and overcomplicate things.
Sure. Guilty. So that's why for me, whenever I'm formulating something for these leads, I'm always thinking about what would work for me, right? Short and sweet, right? How just let me know that you're here for me, but addressing a situation that's going on that is a cause for concern across everybody in Canada, right? Which we know is ultimately probably going to affect our market to some degree in real estate. And that's where people tend to, back off and hold off. So that's another thing that I've been doing. And I've been really making use of, I have my system for the 3 times. I've got my template that I send out. But having that ability, guys, to be able to send them the MLS listing directly, and I can do this all from my phone. I don't even have to open it up. I have been playing around with that a lot. Sending the list, copying the number that they've liked, putting it in there, sending the listing directly, or doing the customized note, and seeing, toggling, where am I getting a response? And when I'm doing the customized note, when they've liked a property 3 times, just saying, hey Bob, you like this 3 times, or I know I don't say you liked it 3 times. I saw that you liked this online. Here's the full listing if you want to check it out. Then
Hmm.
I'll say, if you have any questions, let me know. But then I also toggled it to, would you like to see it?
Hmm.
And then I just sign off Tara.
Yeah.
And when I switched it to, would you like to see it? Crystal, don't even talk to me. You want to see how many people responded because I asked that question.
Yes.
Some people said, not yet, Tara, but actually, I'm probably going to be ready soon. Some people said, no, it's not time yet. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just need them to answer, right?
Yes,
And then I
exactly.
can build. Yeah.
Because once you get that answer, then you know a little bit more about their motivation and that they're not ready. So you're not going to keep pushing and pushing, which is something that
Right.
is common when we forget to listen to what our leads are telling us because we just base everything off of the fact that they keep looking at listings, thinking, well, if they're looking at listings, they must go want to see
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's a great way to, again, if we're not sure, maybe time has passed, is determining that motivation just by, something based on their behavior, just to make
Right.
sure, right?
Right.
But
And switching it up because however you do something one way for 30 days, if you switch it up for another 30 days and just keep your eye on the responses, you really will find that sweet spot. And
mhm,
and it will be a common one, which is what I've always tried to do with my drip campaigns, is really leave the emails in there that overall have touched a sweet spot in the majority of my leads, right? But again,
mhm,
guys, always be aware, we're not going to get them all. Like you're going to have some people tell you to, you know,
yeah.
go away nicely, right? And I'm okay with that. Because,
Yeah,
the bottom line is the money's already been paid. What am I going to do? Yeah,
yeah.
it's all
No,
good. Move on to the
exactly.
next.
They're
Yeah.
they're out there, that's for sure. You
Oh
know?
yeah. Oh yeah, they are. Fortunately, I don't see it that often,
Mhm.
but I do have people that call me. I had an agent call me on the weekend, wanting some advice from another brokerage, wanting some advice on agent locator. And we talked a lot about mindset and let me know, guys, if you're getting tired of hearing me say this, but I really felt for him because he was in a position where, you know what I mean? This was new to him. He wanted to work them and it wasn't going. He was overwhelmed with feeling like he wasn't doing it right.
Mhm.
And we all
Yeah.
know that feeling. We
Mhm.
all it's human nature to go,
Yes.
this isn't working for me. And it
Yeah.
wasn't because he was doing anything wrong.
Mhm.
But I said to him, you feel it's not working. You're saying you think you're no good at it. And guess what? That's what you're projecting.
Yeah.
So if you switch it up here and go, you know what? This is new business for me. Whenever they decide to buy a house, I've now been introduced to somebody I would never have been introduced to before. This is all
Mhm.
good. I'm just going to do
Mhm.
my thing with these people and play it out. He went, I would never have looked at it that way. And
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
it's a win-win, but it starts here,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be. And well, in real estate in general, it's a roller coaster, right? So we tend to take things a little bit personal when it comes to these online leads
Yeah.
because, we're paying for something. They're not necessarily, we're not yet getting rewarded for our efforts instantly. And it seems like everyone just gives us the same responses. So it can definitely impact our, our well-being because we
Yep.
let it, right? We
Right.
kind of let that. We're so focused on
Yep.
these leads and the results and the interactions with them, from the fact of not pointing at the positives of what we're collecting here, but focusing on the things that are the negative aspect of it, or what would be considered negative, because nothing really negative because someone's just waiting. They're not ready to buy
Right.
yet. That's not negative. It's just not what we want to hear.
Right. Right. It's not what we want to hear, but I listen, guys, I say this. I just had a closing. I feel like it was on Monday. What day is it today? Tuesday. Oh my God. Let's say Friday.
Tuesday.
That was a closing from a lead that came on my system 6 years ago. So, you know what I mean? That's where I really
Mhm.
can't say enough that when these leads come in, A, if you don't have that positive mindset and because they're not responding to you right away or at all, you're so easy to write these people off. But you have to remember, we don't know what's going on in their life. They're
Mhm.
simply registering to look at houses. That's it. Like
Mhm.
we're just an additional bonus that comes along with that,
Yeah.
right? That
Yeah.
our name now is given to these people, so we have an opportunity for something.
Yes.
What is that something? We're all craving the deal, but you start acting hungry, you start pushing, you're going to lose these people. So I
Mhm.
always look at it like it's a win for me. Even if they decide to buy a house with someone else, it's still
Mhm.
a win because they were still on and they still end up buying. So
Yeah.
you can never say that these leads are crap.
Mhm.
Even if they buy with somebody else, their intent to buy came at some point,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a hard thing in this world to maintain a positive.
It can definitely be because
Oh,
we all hit those moments, and it's funny how too it could be one simple thing that just flips the switch. So you can be in this is all horrible. I'm not making any business. And then, I don't know, your neighbor bakes you a cake and all of a sudden you're just like on cloud nine and the rest of the
right,
days are just floating, right? It's interesting
right.
how sometimes the simplest things can have the largest impact on our overall
Yeah,
well-being.
yeah. Think about that too. You know, our leads, when they come in, everybody, our leads aren't just about them. It's
Mm-hmm.
always about who they know. Just like when we hold
Mm-hmm.
an open house, you know, we might have somebody walk in that open house. They may never buy that house, but they may tell somebody about it. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
opening ourselves up to these leads and treating them in a way of I guess I would say servitude, meaning
Yes.
we're here, we're just here when the time is right for them. I
Mm-hmm.
have been referred, my name has been referred by my leads to people that they know over and over and over and over again. This is an open realm of endless possibilities with these people. And this is what I said to that guy. I said, if you think about this, as a commission salesperson, investing in the Google leads is literally putting you where everybody is shopping,
Mm-hmm.
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is always going to be a win because we've got the opportunity to be introduced to people that we probably never would have.
Yes.
These 2,100 people that I just emailed, when would I have met any of those people had
Yeah.
it not been
Yeah. Right.
for
Yeah.
these Google leads? So
No,
that's
for sure.
always the mindset that I always have, always
Mm-hmm.
with these
Mm-hmm.
with these leads. How do you guys find it, everybody that's listening? Do you find that you guys get a
Mm-hmm.
little bit overwhelmed or kind of like, you finally like you go into that pit? Once the mind starts going down,
Mm-hmm.
man, it's hard to bring it back up.
Yeah.
You
The
find
valley of
that?
despair.
Yeah, yeah. Let us
Valley. It's
know.
the valley of despair is what we call it. It's just like
Do
going
you?
down.
Yeah.
Geetha. Yeah.
Ethan, you
Geetha
find
says
yes.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. What do you do? Do you have anything that you do to kind of take yourself and build yourself back up again? For me, I'm just like, okay, come on now, Debbie Downer, pity party.
Yeah.
Like I give it to myself. I do. You try to think
Mm-hmm.
positive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe can you give everybody here something that you do to bring yourself to positivity? There's a big, I mean, listen, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm manifesting.
Yep.
I am. I
You
am. I
manifest
started
it.
doing some research in that. I'm like, okay, come on. Like there's a lot of bad
Yeah.
stuff going on. What do I gotta, I
I
need to make
mean,
money. Yeah. Yeah. We all manifest that.
and you can think of those and those like good books is like The Secret and the Magic. Those that book series is all about manifestation and mindset really and kind of goes into the if you wake up and I think I created I actually didn't share it on my page is if you wake up and be like this is going to be a great day today and this is why and we wake up and we tell ourselves that it's going to be a great day, then the chances of it actually being a great day are actually higher because we've already told ourselves
Yeah.
it's going to be a great day. If we keep saying,
Yeah.
I can't do this, this isn't going to happen, it would have, whatever it might be, everyone's going to be angry. Like, no one wants to talk to me. Guess what's going to happen? You've now just put
Right.
out there that's
Right.
because that's all you're focused on. It's not necessarily what's actually happening. It's just that's what your focal point is on those aspects that are negative rather than pointing out what's positive and then watching that
Yeah.
that's what happens, right? It's like skiing down the hill. You can either pay attention to the trail or the trees. You want to hit the
Right.
trees or go through the path, right? So,
I mean, this is just a wealth of knowledge, isn't
yeah.
it? I mean, we're dealing with everything here. I
Yeah.
love that because this is what we all need. I feel, especially in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the littlest hiccup can affect anybody thinking about buying or selling. I
Mm-hmm.
will tell you, a very good friend of mine, an agent here, a very good friend of mine who's an agent here, has been an agent in this area for over 35 years. He was talking to me on the phone yesterday. No, that's a lie. It was last week, but I did talk to him yesterday. Last week, he told me he had just listed 5 power of sales.
Wow.
5. And again, right, business is out there, which is another thing that we talked about last week, him and I, always being, we need to be the first people that reaches out to past clients, to leads. Hey, let's do a
Mm-hmm.
check-in. There's a lot of people in financial distress right now. If you need me to refer you to one of the best industry partners in the mortgage industry, please let me know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doing that check-in is going to be huge for people if you could actually help somebody before it's too late, if they're
Yeah.
helpable,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it might
Absolutely.
not be because there's a deal there, everybody, but if you become that source of information and help to them, what you'll gain from it with referrals coming down the future is going to
Mm-hmm.
be huge. So
Mm-hmm.
what he was saying as well is it's still the same this year as it was 30 years ago when we used to have a lot of power sales. People wait too long and people don't talk about it. They don't tell their friends, they don't tell their family, they suffer in silence because they're so, I guess people are ashamed or they're embarrassed, right? So if you take something and maybe do a little reach out, that might be
Mm-hmm.
able to get you something within the agent locator system too. Just another,
Mm-hmm.
just another thing to think
Just
about,
to think,
guys.
yeah, because if you're thinking like that many people went into our properties went into power of sale, it takes a bit to get there. It's not an
Mm-hmm.
overnight thing, right? So and that goes
Yeah,
into staying in contact with your database, right? Doing those check-ins, even if it's annual, those Popeyes,
yeah,
anything like that. All those things make a huge difference.
yeah,
Because yeah,
yeah.
those people could have,
And
in
don't
any
be
case,
afraid to do that with your leads. It just takes
mm-hmm,
one soft email just to say,
mm-hmm,
listen, we're noticing, right? Just like
mm-hmm,
I did with the other check-in
yeah,
email, do it in regards to we're seeing a lot of people starting to be unable to pay their mortgages. We work with the
mm-hmm,
best industry partners who can give you lots of advice. Please let me know,
yeah.
right? Just do
And
that. Yeah.
there's a lot of people that I find will not reach out for the help, right? Because we're stubborn as humans in general, right? Or embarrassed as well that it's now come to this, right? But if we
Yeah.
happen to be genuine and just reaching out to them, it's almost turns into a safe place to communicate that this is
Yeah.
what's actually going on, right? They're not
Right.
reaching out for help. You just happen to be reaching out to them.
Right. Yeah. I look at all of that as additional touches because of whatever we're going through with world economy, whatever's out there. Take advantage of what's out there, build it into your touch with your emails. Maybe it's a phone call for some of you. Some of you are really, really, really great on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, and I do want to ask you, Crystal, how is it going or how are you seeing the text message side? I know that Agent Locator was doing a lot of challenges where they would like text 200 people.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of agents reach out to me recently for Agent Locator advice. I'm seeing a lot saying that they're seeing the texting not working as well. as it was, let's say 6 months ago, because we know every month it can be
Yeah,
different,
it can be completely different.
right? Are
Yeah.
you noticing a trend either way with people responding?
Not particularly, and it depends on the response. Because if the challenge is a simple challenge, are you still looking for a home in whatever city, right? And
Yeah.
that's really intended as a database cleanup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Process of elimination, but it also points out for all those people that said, "Sir, you already bought something," that you did have opportunity in there. We might have
Sure.
just dropped the ball, or they weren't our opportunity in the first place.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you a little bit of spark, being like, okay, well, there are people that buy in here, right? And then there are some people that are still looking, so it allows you to direct your focus. When it comes to the automated drips, those are all just generalized questions, right? So that we've put together to encourage a lead to just simply reply to us. That's all we're trying to do, is just give us a response. Now,
Yeah.
everyone has full control over those. You guys do not have to use our campaign as is. If you want to go in there and tweak it a little bit to make the communication sound more of like how you would talk, then definitely do so.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't though, right? Because it's just easy, set, forget. You don't have to worry about it, right? And you're getting enough responses that it's not of any concern because you're calling anyway. So everyone is very different. We do have the AI bot now that's responding on behalf of leads, which is improved, the improved version of it. If you
Yeah.
guys have the AI bot and you have uncertainties about it, what I would encourage that you do is sign up on your website and respond to the text message and have a conversation with your bot. Throw
Yeah.
que- throw
Yeah.
questions at it that you think that it's not smart enough to understand. Like test it out, because then you'll have that layer of confidence that you feel assured that, okay, if it's taking over because I don't have to worry about it saying something so sideways. I have a lack of
Yeah.
confidence, right?
Right. I do
Because it
know
is.
people that have done that.
Mhm.
I know quite a few agents that have tested it out, and I think it's worth it.
Yeah,
Because the bottom line is, Crystal, I'm not really super into the AI, although I do love me some Chat GPT.
yeah,
Um, but I do think that for you to feel confident in somebody that's kind of speaking on your behalf, do your own homework with it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
if they were to see something maybe not right, I'm assuming you could easily reach out to tech support, right? And
And
just say,
see
hey, this is
this
what this is.
response. Yeah, this response is
Yeah,
kind of sideways or what have you. And we'll look into it. There's only so much we can do because it is a thought. We have rules and guidelines, and for it to learn
right,
essentially. But
right.
we were testing it out, and we're like, okay, what happens? And we threw like some bizarre thing, like the house burnt down and my mom just died, like just so sideways, just to see what would happen.
Right.
And it's actually, well, it seems like you've got a lot on your plate right now, is
Oh,
what it was, like, or something like
yeah, I
that, where it was
do.
actually reflective of like, wow, you've got a lot going
Wow.
on.
Uh-huh.
And it was kind of like more of not pushy. It was like, well, how about I reach back, out in some time and then, kind of go from there. It wasn't like,
Right.
so
Right.
it took into consideration that this person, based on this outrageous story, is probably not transacting right now. Like it's not
Right.
happening. Right. So
Well, I mean, I like that it has a little bit of empathy.
yeah. And like
That's
really it will learn
wild.
the more it gets communicated with, the more it, it
Right.
learns. Right. And yeah, so I test it out, you guys. Like go on if you haven't already, go on your website, register, throw your number in there, talk to the bot. Talk to the
Okay.
bot. Anything that you feel like it's just not going to do well, test it and see how it responds.
Exactly. I
Mm-hmm.
see John said, I never I never get anybody to reply to my emails from the drip campaign. So,
Mm-hmm.
John, are you using your own drip campaigns or are you using the agent locator one? Here's kind of like my thought process because I'm super pro drip campaigns. I said at the beginning, you need them no matter what. Both. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to do some more tweaking. Now, understand everybody, all of our emails are not going to get replies. So my drip, I added an Oh, I added on to it again last week. I think I'm at almost 157 days is my
Mm-hmm.
drip. And honestly, every month I'm like, oh, maybe I'll throw this one in. So I'm slowly building it. But not every email gets responses. But I have learned that all the emails need to be fairly short and sweet. Don't forget your call to action at the end. If you put in a question or encourage them to do something, people are going to be prone to reply back. That's just human nature. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my emails will say simply, feel free to text me anytime if that's easier for you. And then, of course, the short code for the agent mobile number,
Mm-hmm.
or simply reply to this email and let me know. Sometimes that's strictly my call to action. Or, like I was just talking to you guys about using the send the MLS listing through the icon on the page. Would
Mm-hmm.
you like to see it? Just so simple. So all you need to do is just sit back and remember what would work. Yes, John, short and sweet.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of my emails, unless they're referring to something in regards to Tressa, like I've got an email built in my drip campaign that talks about how we have to send them the RICO information guide if you guys are in Ontario. That's a little longer because I kind of quoted a little bit from Tressa in it. But
Mm-hmm.
your email should be nothing more than about 3 paragraphs, just touching on something. You know that old saying, we don't give away the farm until they buy the milk? Is that what it is? You don't give away
Yeah.
whatever,
I don't.
right?
I
Just a
don't know.
small teaser,
You got to buy the
right?
farm before you give away the milk.
We're not telling them everything. We need them to bring them in. That's sort of what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So we
Yeah.
need short and sweet.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might not be replying if it's way too long because you've lost them at paragraph 2, right? So
Yeah.
always tweak
Yeah.
it. When I started doing this almost 20 years ago with my emails, I started playing around and then I just made mental notes of which emails got the better responses,
Mm-hmm.
even if it was simply thanks,
Yeah.
right? It was always the ones that were just that little piece of info. If you want more info, please simply text me if that's easier or reply to this email. Have a good one,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So just take the time and just tweak whether or not it's the agent locator
sure.
one or your own personal one.
Yeah. I think it's short and sweet. And you can take, like, because Agent Locator has a whole bunch of them. I always encourage everyone to go in and tweak those emails because
Oh, sure.
the foundation's there. I find when something's already there, it's
The
easier to go in
base
and just
is
go,
there.
like,
Okay. So,
eliminate a bunch of
yes.
it and tweak it because some of them are long and seem as though they are campaigny type emails,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
go in there
Yep.
and tweak it, fine tune it, reduce it. Because again, even though it is a campaign, we want the person receiving the email to feel as though we took the time to personally just send them that email,
Yes.
right? Not
Yes.
like
Yep.
we have this whole, like, I just sat here for an hour writing John an email that, 5,000 words about the market and everything that's going on, because that's not realistic. I would have never sat there, no offense, John, and wrote you a 5,000 word email.
Right. Right. Now, Noelle is saying something that I think we all can relate to. I go blank as soon as I try to tweak it. Right. We're all guilty. We're all guilty. So, what I want to say to you, Noelle, is think about yourself first. If this was something coming to you, what would work? So, we're going to start with let's just use the existing drip. Maybe it's the buyer's campaign one out of agent locator, that first email. Think about yourself. When that goes out, how would Noelle respond? And then make the changes that would work for you if this email was coming to you. And you just start first email, second email, third email, right? So introducing right away, Crystal knows this. She's seen my drip multiple times. I'm just here to say thank you,
Mm-hmm.
right? When someone
Gratitude.
logs in my site, I'm about servitude first. Thanks so much for coming on. Begin to search. Sorry, I got an itch right here on the side of my face. Thanks so much for coming on begin2search.com. It really means a lot to me that you're coming on my site. Let me know if you need me to revise your search at all. I'm always available to help. Done. That's my day 7 email, right? That's it. So just try to do that. If you really get lost, put some little points in Chat GPT, give it a little bit of something, something that would work for you
Yeah.
and see what they come out with, and then build or take away from that.
You can also take one email that you've created that you really like and tell ChatGPT that I want a campaign that's 5 emails long, 10 emails long, whatever it is. Take the tone and the writing style of this email, and this is how I want to come across. I mean, relative,
Right.
whatever, and say, build me
Right.
a 10. And then it'll build you all the emails that then you could just go in and fine tune each one
Tweak,
to
tweak,
make
tweak.
sure it sounds. It's
Yep.
like tweak, 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 and then you're done. So you can take one email and then it'll understand.
Right.
The more you talk to ChatGPT and write into it and ask questions, what have you, it actually learns your writing style. And when you tell it to do something, it'll start to come out more of how you would actually word things in the first place.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Noelle, this is exactly what we were talking about at the beginning, where we're all guilty of this. We overthink it. But here's what I love about this is, first and foremost, the email drip campaigns are a way for our leads to hear from us very softly, occasionally. Maybe it's once a week. Remember, Noelle, all they want is to see listings. So the listings that's coming to them in your name from Agent Locator is really the most important part of this. So try not to overthink the little soft touches that you're doing with an email drip campaign, because the bottom line is that's just an added bonus. They just want to see listings, and that's what they're getting from you as soon as they log in, right? And don't be afraid to come and ask for a little bit of help. I'm always here to help everybody, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? You got this.
And it kind of ties into, because again, we all get distracted. It's something, if we're not really wanting to do, we tend to find reasons not to do it, right? Or excuses, or, oh, look, the laundry just finished. Whatever it is, right? To get out of it, we create our own roadblocks. One of the books that I'm actually reading, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong because it's called Ikage. It's a Japanese, and understanding the flow and the longevity of why there's places in Japan where these are like the longest living people, right? And why?
Right.
And one of the things is they're always busy. They're always doing stuff, but never stressed about it, right? They're always just occupied, happy. But they never multitask. There is no such thing, because that creates stress and chaos in your brain, because there's no way that you can. So it's like there's no way that you can focus into a flow and do what you want to do with your campaign while you've got your phone sitting there, you got this over there. You get it out of the room, and you'll all of a sudden you'll go into what they call as that flow, and it's just it just comes easy then, because there's no distraction.
They finish one task before starting another.
Exactly.
And there's no distractions while they're doing it.
There's no distraction. They'll just sit there and they'll work at it, but they're content doing it. But it's because they all of a sudden go into and it just becomes easy then. Right?
I mean, I pride myself on multitasking, but you know what? It is true.
It is.
Maybe the task doesn't get done the right way because you're constantly in between.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to me. Noelle is saying she's got some really old leads. What do I say to engage them again? I love this question. I love, because there's still a lot of business, Noelle, everybody on here, Crystal, in those older leads. So always be thinking that. Double check and make sure, first and foremost, that those old leads are still getting listings, because if they haven't been opening them up for a while, we know our dear Google is going to force Agent Locator to only send them listings maybe once a month. So whenever I go way back to like my 8,000 leads, I go right into their search criteria and see if they're still even getting those listings. Because first and foremost, if you're going to engage them, you want to make sure that they're still getting properties from you, or at least start them again.
Mm-hmm.
I do one of two things with my really old ones. I'm always doing those added touches. That checking in email that I quoted at the beginning, there's a lot of concerns with the market right now and tariffs. Do you have questions for me? Sending something like that is super great for a really old lead. But we
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that they're getting listings from you because you can build from that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, you've been on the system for a long time, Joe. I've got you set up to, for 350 and under because they came on 10 years ago. Let's just say I'm
Yeah.
using an example, right? What's your criteria now? Super, super simple. You're just coming from a place of serving.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. That's what I would do. But I'll tell you, guys, this is a job. And when you're getting leads, you have to be committed to the process. If
Mm-hmm.
you've got leads that have been on for a year, 2 years, you got to go back into their searches because I can guarantee you whatever price you had them set up is going to need to be expanded because our prices do tend to increase
Yes.
every. So they might be set on such a small budget that they may not even be getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
So make a point every day when you're time blocking to go, I'm going to do one page, 20 of my leads from way back, and I'm going to reset them up again and kind of
Mm-hmm.
adjust the search.
Yeah.
The more that your name is back in their inbox, the greater the chance you're going to have of being able to help them with one of a real estate need,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully
Exactly.
that answered it okay. And thank you for asking questions.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
loving this.
getting them to look at the listings, right? And there's different creative ways. Again, you can take all those inactive leads and in that email is making sure there is something for them to click on that would open up a listing that would then all of a sudden go bing and you'll get that notification. Tara's
Mm-hmm.
been active after 30 days of inactivity, right? So you'll be
Love it.
like you would get that
Yes.
notification, and then
Yes.
that's my focus. Those people that clicked on and I got that note, those are the ones I'm going to go into first. Take a look at
Right.
their stuff, tweak
Right.
everything if I need to, reach out to them, that sort of thing, right? So
Yeah.
it's and especially depends on how many leads we have, right? Sometimes it's all about where do I start and who do I focus on first. And so
You
little
know,
things like that allows you to,
yes.
determine where do I
Yes.
start.
Yeah.
So people
Just think about, I think for anybody that's got really old leads, I do think that you could do a nice little simple checking in, know that when you do it, you're going to have unsubscribes. Don't let your
mm-hmm,
feelings get hurt. I mean, clearly they're not interested, so let's move on to the people that are,
yeah,
right?
mm-hmm,
But I do
absolutely.
know that this is something that everybody needs to be committed to doing if you want to see results from these people. A lot of people with the old leads will make a very soft phone call. That's a
Mm-hmm,
great way to do it as well, or text them. So just think
mm-hmm,
about something. And again, put yourself in their shoes. What would work for you? And do that. If
mm-hmm,
you're the type of person that I am, that as soon as you start pressuring me, you've lost me,
mm-hmm.
then have a softer approach,
Yeah,
right? Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I find it's
And
easy to talk to those older people as well, because they're actually more willing to talk to you. They haven't been bombarded. They're not, there's no
that's
pressure
fair.
there, whatever
Yep.
it is, right? So they tend to
Right.
answer from what I gather, and they're responsive in the conversation. Even if they don't need anything from you really right now, they're actually willing to have
Right.
conversation.
Yes. Don't forget, guys, too, when you have new listings, when you're holding open houses, this is a great way of touching your leads with, you know what I mean? And be the first to see this property. There are so
Mm-hmm.
many things that I do outside of my drip campaign to continually touch my leads. So we never do an open house without sending everybody. I don't even care if it's not in the area that my leads are registered in. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
All of my leads get an open house invitation. I always put the tour in, like I'll link the
Mm-hmm.
tour
Yep.
inside it. And I always say, listen, if this isn't for you, if you happen to know somebody in this area, we would love everybody to stop by.
Yeah.
right? Do I get people come? Yes, I do. People have attended my open houses that were my leads. But more importantly, it's just a way of showing them I'm an active realtor,
Hmm.
right? It's that consistent branding. So think about those things too that you can kind of add in. Um, Tara, what is the first touch with an old lead? Call, text, or email? Ooh, what do you think I'm going to say, Crystal?
Email.
I'm the email girl. I'm the email girl for sure, hands down. One of two things. Let's
So
have a
cool.
pool.
A pool. A
Oh,
poll.
poll.
I think a poll.
Yeah. Oh, I answered it too quick.
Whatever.
I'm a big believer in email, especially with an old lead to try to rejuvenate them again. I think a very soft approach is good. I am not opposed to anybody calling. If you feel more comfortable by making a very soft phone call, just checking in, do it. If
Hmm.
it doesn't work, switch to text. If it doesn't work that way, switch to an email. You got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
But
No,
I have
absolutely.
a lot of success with my soft emails. And
Hmm.
I do soft texts too, right?
Yeah.
I really do. But I came from converting leads by calling the day, like the second that they landed on my phone.
Hmm.
I was so good at it. But it changed when robo dialing came in. When our cell numbers were being sold to all the companies, I became very aware that people were not responding anymore the way they used to. So for me, I'm not telling anybody not to call. I'm saying people are suspicious of phone calls. So I rebuilt a
Hmm.
powerful email way so that people could softly hear from me without getting pissed off because I'm calling or not answering because they don't know I'm not
Yeah.
on their phone. I'm going to
Hmm.
give you an example. Oh my God, I'm so full of information today. Last week, I was teaching some of our realtors here because I do some coaching for
Hmm.
with our realtors on leads for not for agent locator, they're on the agent locator system. And one of our girls has a phone number that she has dedicated to her business. So it's outside of her personal number. Anyhow, so long and short of it is, she said, I'm a big caller, and I've been noticing lately that people aren't answering my calls out of this dedicated cell phone number she had for her business. And so another agent that was there said, and I didn't even think about this, call me and let's see how it comes up on my phone. So she did. And what
Hmm.
do you think it came up?
Likely
Reported
spam.
as spam.
Yeah.
Reported as spam, and she lost her mind, rightfully so. So
It's
here's why I think when we're calling, you have to
just
be
sometimes.
aware.
Hmm.
We have the ability to report. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Right?
You
So,
can register with Haya though. So anyone that we're
okay.
signing up now, we're getting. So if anyone is finding that that's happening to you, just reach out to our support team. We go through a whole thing that basically tells whatever governing bodies that this is an actual legitimate business line. That if it, because
Okay.
sometimes it could have been previously reported as spam. It's not
Sure.
something you're doing, right? The number, because
Sure.
people will use a number, then get rid of it, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you might
Yes.
pick up a phone number that was previously used.
Oh,
So
Noel.
yeah,
Yeah.
so just
So
go,
I'm gonna tell her to call technical
yeah, just
support.
email, yeah,
Okay.
just get her to the email
Okay.
and they'll send, it's like a thing that you just fill it all. Yeah, it's just a fill
So
it all in.
let's use this as, we're not saying don't call. That's
Yeah.
not what we're saying. What I'm saying is we live in a day and age where we're all inundated with spam, and I get it. I get that nobody wants to answer a phone call when they don't know a number. I get it. So just have that backup built up email drip campaign, email touches.
Mm-hmm.
Have all, you never let go of the power of that.
Yeah.
Do I leave a voicemail? Always. Always, always. This is 20 years converting leads. I want them to know I'm not a threat. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's Tara Baylis from begintosearch.com or taraleighrealestate.com, whichever way this lead has come in. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the site and looking listings. I really appreciate it. If there's anything you need, just send me a text. This is my direct line. That's it. And I have gotten business from one of my leads because I left a message and they called me and said, because you left that message and you sounded so nice, I'm going to use you. Her name was Lindsay. I can't, you can't make this up. I always leave a message. I know other people say don't, but I do.
Yeah, and I think it's such a
I do.
mixed bag. It's hard to like to try to understand the word like I don't even know the mind of every person out there because some people are going to be like, thank you for leaving a message. No one seems to leave messages anymore. And then other people are like, why would you even bother? They get angry when someone leaves them a voice message because it's like, who listens to voice messages anymore? And then
that's fine. That's fine. I get that.
Yeah, I'm just saying
but
it's
if
funny
you don't
how
leave me
there's
a message, I'm not calling you back.
No, you're not calling
because
back.
if you don't leave me a message, I'm assuming you're spam.
Yes.
And that's where I think really you should leave a message. Listen, if they get mad that you call, they're going to mark you as spam anyways. It is what it is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. Oh boy.
It's hard to there's no right or wrong way, right?
Who would know? Listen, brokerages bank accounts are getting fraud on them because our deposit instructions are posted on our MLS listings, and now these scammers are figuring out how to get into trust accounts. There's an EFT spam going on right now with brokerages because people are getting the trust account information and creating EFT payments. Every time we get a call, we need to be suspicious because these guys out there are creating a whole other entity. So
100%.
Again, guys, just beef up the back end. So you've always got that question. John, what do we have? Oh, no, well, that's what happened to her, right? Someone tell me if you send a first short text with your name and call after your name will appear on display. I've never tried. Oh, I don't know.
Do you know, someone tell me if you send.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might say possible. Yeah, because I know actually this is funny because it's on my phone right now and it's from the dentist. And so it says maybe Riley. And let me actually just pull it up because I haven't even understood. It says maybe Riley, but it's Angela. But the first message that came before, and these are all from their desk, was Riley. This is Riley from True Dental. This is Riley from True Dental. Obviously, the person at the desk is now called Angela. So on my phone, it says maybe Riley. I don't know if you can see it.
Right.
So it might actually pull up possibly maybe, but I don't know if they were to call me if it would say maybe Riley. That I don't know.
Interesting.
Another just a little side note, I was talking to somebody. So again, if we're having a hard time getting somebody, it's using your dialer, using your cell phone. One agent told me that he has a huge success of getting people to answer by blocking his number. So it says no caller ID.
That's how my doctor's office called. To be honest, it was unknown number. That's what it came up as.
Yeah. Unknown number, any like health authority, any lawyer, any whatever will come up as an unknown caller ID. And so it kind of plays with people's name being like, this is a call of importance. Right. If they're familiar with that. And he actually gets a lot of people they answer by him doing that.
Well, there's a thought. John's asking, do you double call before you leave a voicemail? I found out that 40% more prospects answer on the second call. I would 100% agree with you. I think that if they recognize the numbers coming through again, I know most of our phones will actually log a phone number and say they've called you 4 times or 2 times. Yeah, you know what? I don't have any rhyme or reason to it, but for sure I would call. Whenever I call, I leave a voicemail. So that's just what I do. And I've had really good success with it. But again, The voicemail is coming from a place of thank you. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I'm not leaving. You registered on my site. I've got you set up for. I'm not leaving any of that. It's just I
Yeah.
just want to thank you for coming on my site and looking at listings. That's it. Right? So there's nothing
Mm-hmm.
to be threatened of. Watch as well. This happened to somebody I know. Now this was going back about 15 years ago, but watch how much detail you leave on a cell phone or a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was somebody that registered, a female on a site. It might have been a landline back then. It might not have been a cell phone that was used. So the call back was, listen, you registered. I've got, I see that you were set up for, Toronto, whatever. Let me know what I can do if you'd like to see some houses. And sadly, it was a woman that was trying to leave a domestic situation, and the husband got the
Mm-hmm.
phone call.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned very quickly, it didn't happen to me, but it happened in the office that I was in. And the agent felt terrible because she called and said, how dare you? Um, yeah. So, you just, again, I'm just calling to say thank you.
Yeah.
There's nothing more that I do. I'm
Yeah.
just really very aware that you never know who's going to pick up that message. So it's just very general and
Exactly.
it's very sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
It
What
is.
else do we have? Oh, we're almost done.
I don't know.
That flew by.
All
Yeah.
right.
Any other questions before we sign out, everybody?
So everyone's going to be tweaking emails, blasting their leads. They're going to come on at the end of next month and tell us what great success they had with those small email blasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Noelle, I'm not sure what to say when I call and how they found me. So, oh, you're more than welcome, John. You're more than welcome. Um, think about the domain that you're using right now for your agent locator leads, whether or not it's your website or whether or not it's an unbranded domain, and that's a domain you're going to use, right? So, I get my leads from my unbranded domain. So I would say begintosearch.com. That's my unbranded domain, right? Because it's really not about Tara Lee Real Estate. It's about that. That's what I do. I don't know if anybody else does anything different, but I just refer back to what that is.
And again, it's your name, so it depends on well when you are calling them and when you finally get them off the phone, how many emails they've received. Because again, your name is showing up in their inbox every time they're receiving that listing email. So it
Yeah.
can, the connection there is, hey, it's Noelle, I've been, sending you
Yeah.
some listings in the whatever area, and I just wanted to check in to see how everything's going with your home search. Right? The
Yeah.
name is going to stand out. There's not a whole ton of Noelles out there, so your name naturally just stands out on its own.
I always say my name. So it's always, hey, it's Tara Baylis from begintosearch.com.
Yeah.
Right? And let me
It
tell
just comes
you,
out.
especially if you wait to really make calls after they actually have your name in their inbox. So let's say you wait and you make a call 2 weeks later and they've got 15 emails from you that are listings. They'll know your name. So now if I do
Yeah.
make a phone call and I say it's Tara Baylis, they're like, oh, hey, like they know me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're not a stranger to them by any means if you do that. I don't make
No.
calls from
Sorry.
Twilio, not myself. I make them directly from my cell phone. But I'm not opposed to people using Twilio. I use it for the texting through my email drip campaign for sure. But on all of my
Mm-hmm.
emails, when I put the agent mobile number short code, it's for my direct line, and that's what I use. Yeah, all right. And that's a wrap. Uh, maybe a dumb question. How do I find out where they found me?
Google. They
Yeah.
were searching for homes online. If you're running a Google ad, they were on Google searching for real
Okay.
estate.
Yep.
If they're Facebook leads, they're on Facebook scrolling, and there's your ad. That's how they found you. So
But it does say on the dashboard where it's sourced through,
yeah, it would say
right?
AL Google PPC. So
Or
it's.
it'll say Facebook.
I'm
Would
pretty
it?
sure
Yeah.
your Google, Noel, but I could be wrong. But it's like you were online, you're Googling real estate, but we also have to remember as well, they could have been Googling, and that's kind of like the very blanket. You're online Googling real estate listings or, searching real estate listings because even if it wasn't your website that they remembered being on, they remember actually performing that search. They remember
Sure.
being online, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
because if too much time hasn't passed, we don't want to create a disconnect because they're like, which website? Because
Right.
a lot of people don't pay attention, right? They just click on something and they're like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
but
And
they're on Google.
it's never a dumb question.
No,
Yes,
no.
we are. I think we're recording,
Yes,
aren't we?
they're always recorded. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I just
always
don't see
recorded.
that red button.
I
But
know it's up top now.
okay.
I'd
Well, this is great. Hopefully we've helped
awesome.
out, you guys. You can always watch it again too if you need anything. Crystal, you're a rock star. I think the world of you, girl. I definitely do. All right.
Well, we're looking forward to our next month update from everyone, including Tara, and more of her mass action success stories.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with some more. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're more
I
than
know.
welcome. I appreciate the thank you. We're here to help. We're here to
Awesome.
help. All right.
Perfect. Bye, everyone. Bye, Tara. See you in a month.
Peace out.
Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye, Crystal.